Well, hello, and welcome back to the Boozy Botanical podcast. My name is Cruella Deville.
And I'm Angelique. You'll know what I am in just a moment. I want to say what it is. If I say what it is, okay, for those of you watching, I have a bag over my head because I want to reveal to Holly what my Halloween costume is in the moment, and I wanted you guys to have an authentic response. So I can't say what I am yet.
Okay.
Holly,
Well,
before we get into drinks. Oh yeah, go ahead.
yes. I was just going to say, welcome to the Halloween episode. If you guys have not caught on yet. My real name is Holly, but today I'm Cruella Deville.
And you look so good, Holly. Oh my God, I'm peeking. Oh my God, that's amazing.
I have this little, what is this, a cigarette?
Oh, it's a cigarette. You have one. That's so cool. Oh, I'm obsessed. Well, Holly, I have a story for you.
Okay.
So I was going to be Harry Potter because I had the costume already.
Okay.
I have the glasses. I have the wand. I have all the things. And then yesterday you were like, Angelique, I'm going to be Cruella Deville. What are you going to be? And I was like, I don't know what I'm going to be yet. But then today I did a last minute costume and I'm a Dalmatian.
Oh my gosh. Complete with the red collar.
We're matching. I match your gloves perfectly.
Oh my God, you're adorable. You look so cute.
What am I? I'm Pongo.
Pongo.
I'm the dad.
The dad.
I literally just ran from Target right now. I bought felt at Michael's and they're being held up.
Goodness.
They're being held up by little hairpins and
they look it looks legit.
Thank you. But oh my God, I saw your makeup and I was like, oh, we're matching. I'm so excited.
Head to toe. Well, I'm so glad you dressed up as a Dalmatian because for those watching or listening rather, I have like a Dalmatian I did like some makeup, but I didn't have any Dalmatian print. So I was like, oh man, hope it's gonna work. But it works because you're my Dalmatian.
Now you have me. I was like, I hope Holly likes it. I hope she's not like, ew, you kind of took my idea.
Oh, well, it's really funny because I told Tyson, I'm like, hey, because we're so last minute with Halloween every year. I don't know why, because we love it so much. I was like, hey, if you want an easy costume, I already have everything. Like, do you want to be my Dalmatian? And he's like, what, like, be your dog? And I was like, oh, it's supposed to be cute. And he's like, well, what if I want to be something cool? And I'm like, okay, be something cool.
Tyson, Pongo is here to tell you that being a Dalmatian's really cool, okay?
It's really fun, and it's great, especially when you're Holly's Dalmatian.
Yes, but I was like, okay, the Boozy girls are matching, and I thought it was cute.
Adorable.
But yes, maybe next year, you guys, I'll be Harry Potter because I make a mean Harry Potter too. I just have to be honest.
Nice. Full disclosure, I might be taking off this sweater midway through, and maybe even the gloves because it's hot.
Holly, it's hot. If you want to take them off, I mean, the drama was had, and it's good. The gloves are great. They're beautiful.
Thank you.
But I imagine Halloween in Florida's hot.
Well, dude, okay, before we get into things, I mean, this morning was really cold. I took my sister to the airport at 7, and it was a blustery 52 degrees.
What?
Can you believe it? Yeah.
Oh my God, it's hotter here. That's crazy.
I know. And today's actually nice. So, but inside it's still hot. So
yeah. Well, yeah, the house packs it in. I feel that.
For sure.
Oh, Holly, it's so nice to see you. You guys, I literally haven't seen her since our last video. What's this called? What do we do? Podcast.
It's a podcast. Yeah.
Oh, it is. I wasn't sure.
I know, because the last time we recorded was 2 weeks ago, I think.
Yeah, it's been a minute, and now
we've been talking, but not the same.
I mean, yeah, it's the last week of October, which is crazy already. I can't keep up.
Go, Angelique.
I know. I literally told you guys last week or the week before. I don't remember which episode it was. I was like, yeah, I'm going to decorate. Still haven't decorated. I bought a pumpkin. I bought 3 little pumpkins.
Aww.
Well, one is kind of big. I bought a nice warty pumpkin, but it's so pretty because it's orange, but the warts are green and white.
Oh, it sounds so pretty.
It's really cool. I'll send you a picture. So
pumpkin.
Yes. I don't have work today, so I might make my garland. I don't know if I told you guys this last year, but I was hosting a party. Well, I was hosting a party last year, and I bought all the supplies to make a black cat garland for the door, and then I didn't have time. And I still have the supplies, so I might try to go make that later. And I have a little orange ribbon for it to have a little bow. Yeah. So, and oh my God, you guys, this is a few days before you're gonna actually hear this, but right now, Michael's, like, all the Halloween stuff's already at, like, 60% off. They're, like, over
Yeah.
it.
No one's restocking, like, even Home Goods, there's only, like, a small little section.
It's crazy. It's
I don't
absolutely
know
crazy.
yeah, and, like, dude, I'm all about, like, let's progress to the holiday season, but I don't think I'm ready for Christmas, and I'm seeing holiday, Christmassy stuff.
Everything is Christmas right now. It's so weird. I'm like, "You guys, give us some time," you know?
I know.
Yeah, it's too
Like,
much. It's too
it's
much.
still warm in California and Florida, so
Yeah. Like, I'm not
vibes are
ready
good.
yet.
Dude, I looked up, our home away from home, Minneapolis, and
Love them. Oh my
it
god, what's the
was, like,
weather?
28 degrees last night. I was like, "Oh, I
No.
hope you babies are okay."
Do you think they already had to put their stuff like, bring their clothes inside? Or not clothes, their plants.
The plants,
I hope their
I'm not
clothes are
sure.
inside.
I need to double check our friends', page, like, maybe, Planty Queens, all their stuff is in their shop, but I gotta check
Right,
out
right.
Brandon and see what, Nicole is doing too,
Yeah,
like,
'cause that
I'm
just sounds so
curious.
annoying, honestly. I'm like, I'm so
No.
glad I don't have to do that.
Yeah,
Which I
but,
know is, like, privileged, but whatever.
so glad we don't have to do that.
I nerds. Holly, what are you
Yeah,
drinking on this hollow day? Hallow
on this
day? I know it's a little
holiday.
early, guys, but, like, the next Tuesday is already November, and we wanted to keep it in the month.
Yeah, it needs to be in October in order to celebrate Halloween. I don't know, that's just me.
I
So you
agree.
guys, look how pretty this cup
Oh, that's
is.
cute.
This is a, like, iridescent glass skull mug, and
I
it
love
has
that.
a, like, basically a top and a straw
Yeah.
situation for coffee, and this is, like, my all-time favorite fall Halloween cocktail, and it's very simple. It's 2 ingredients. It is Jack Daniel's with Trader Joe's spice cider. I think it's just called their spice cider. They bring it back every year,
Ooh.
and oh my gosh, it's like the perfect sort of, what am I trying to say? It makes whiskey taste really good, which is odd. Like, making
Which is
whiskey taste
literally a
good.
requirement. That's a need.
Oh, I know, but it's hard to make whiskey taste good, at least for me, like, when you're not a whiskey drinker, but
For sure.
something about this, so I'm like, "Do I like whiskey? Because this is
I
really
think you're a
good."
whiskey gal, Holly. You're growing up.
Mhm. That's
Is
very
that
good.
the
What
cup
about
you had last year?
I think I did.
I
I
think
got
you
it
did
late in the
too.
season last year, so I don't
Yeah.
remember if it was featured on the podcast, but
I feel like you
yes,
showed it to me, if nothing else.
probably.
Also, shout out to those watching. Shout out to Holly because she made the cutest background for our video today. We've got little happy, some temperamental ghosts, but mainly happy ghosts with some monstera leaves and
Yeah.
bats, and it's super cute. And it's pink.
I've been really into the pink Halloween this year, so I'm like, "Let's just go for
It's
it for Boozy."
cute. I just saw some pictures on Facebook today, and it was like someone that did a Halloween photo shoot only wearing like baby pink, but it's like skeletons and stuff, and it was so
Oh,
cute. I loved it.
that is so adorable. But what are you drinking, my love?
Guys, I was running around this morning. I didn't get to specifically do a hallowed cocktail like I would have wanted to, but I still have my bag of tricks. I was
Yeah,
kinda
yeah?
hoping for, like, a mixer that was orange or purple. That's what I wanted and still do the
Yeah.
shooters, but I'm just, finishing out some sparkling water. I figure cranberry's, like, red, but then it's
It's
clear
very
because
yeah.
seltzer, but still pretend it's blood, and I've got the bag of tricks, and today we
Woo!
have
You've upgraded the
the
bag.
gross UVs. I think we have a mezcal in there. We have maybe another tequila. I, had some Fireball as well I threw in here, so
Alright,
let's
darling, let's
see.
see what you have. I'm really trying to
Okay.
channel my Cruella Deville. That's
I
all
think
I'm saying.
you should talk like that the rest of the episode.
Oh gosh.
"Oh, darling, what are we
Oh,
going to talk about today?"
oh, that's perfectly wretched.
Okay,
Okay, sorry.
I'm
What are you gonna
grabbing
get? What are you gonna get? Ooh, ooh, ooh.
it's not as juicy.
What is it?
No, it's just I don't think it's as, like I don't think it's as much drama.
Oh.
It's a peach Smirnoff. It's not even the UV. I was kinda hoping for UV for the
Well,
laugh,
hey,
but
you
it's a
know,
cute little bottle.
and you know what? It's orange.
It
So
is
there you
orange. That's
go.
oh my
See,
god,
it was meant to happen.
the devil knew. He was like, "I'm giving you an orange drink today, an orange, design, if you will." Alright,
Yes. It
let's
was the
see.
Sanderson sisters.
They knew. I haven't seen the new film yet. Have you seen it?
Yeah.
Oh, that's what I've been hearing across the board.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
But you know
Well,
what? I love a good reunion moment, so it's fine.
I
Did you
accidentally
pour
poured
too
the whole
much?
thing.
Oh,
Well, I have like I might as well just commit. Okay.
it's probably gonna
Ugh.
taste good. It's not gonna be that bad because
I
it's peach. I
know,
mean,
that's true. It always tastes like cleaning solution at the end, but I guess maybe that's just vodka. All right, cheers, Holly. All right,
cheers.
let's see what we got. Ah,
Okay. Ah,
ah. Not that bad. I think cranberry and peach go well together.
and it's so
Let's
funny
see.
that your glass, it looks like you could be drinking water. Like,
Mhm.
it's just
It
clear.
literally looks like water. It's crazy.
You should do a splash
It's
of cranberry juice if you had some, just to give it
I
that
do
red
have
color.
some.
Ooh.
I'll
Well,
be
it's
right
okay.
back. No,
Okay.
it's okay.
You're
No,
like,
it's
"I'm going for it."
do you want me to?
No, I just
No, don't leave, Angela. You guys, let's pretend because like it's in the back of the fridge and I don't
as
want to
far
deal
as
with
you
that.
guys know, she did,
Yeah,
so
literally don't sell me out, YouTube watchers, okay? The listeners can't know. Well, Holly, oh my gosh, I am so excited to see you. How's your week been? I know you had your sister in
Yes,
town, which
I
is so
did.
nice.
Yes, I had my sister in town. She was here for a whole week. We did lots of things. It's always like when family visits and they're here for a good time, you always think you have so much time, and then all
Oh,
of a
it goes
sudden you're
so
like,
fast.
"You're leaving tomorrow." But
That's so
I
crazy.
know. We had a good time though. We went to some plant nurseries. Man, we did it all. We went to the beach, we got smoothie bowls, we went shopping, we went to Trader Joe's,
Oh, that's a
we
party.
watched a scary movie.
Just all the October things.
Yeah, we did
She
sheet
worked with you
mask.
guys too, right? She did some Forest to See stuff?
She did. She did some BTS because you guys, she is one hell of a photographer, and I'm not just saying it because she's my
She's like a
sister.
like she works with big people.
She does, dude, and, like, especially, like, if you guys live in Arizona, you've probably seen her work, like, she's very talented, and, so she was taking some behind the scenes BTS photos, as well as some, like, family pictures of me, Tyson, and the pets,
That's
and you
cute.
guys, I got some really cute or she got some really cute photos of me in my garden, which I'm really excited to share,
Really?
and yeah, so it
Oh my
was
gosh, that's
fun.
amazing.
I also wanted to tell you guys about this really cute pumpkin that I got at a plant nursery. It's called Lucas Nursery in like the Oviedo area of Orlando. And Angelique, I know you're familiar with Mexican pottery, right?
Hello, like
Like,
Talavera stuff?
yes.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
they
yeah.
had a big, like, I don't know how big I don't know how to describe it. Just think of like a giant pumpkin, a little bit more like a fantasy, like smushed pumpkin, and it's
Right.
green and it's like a jack-o'-lantern. And it's that kind of pottery.
That's so cool. Is it outside?
It is. It
That
looks
is so
cute. I'm gonna share
cool.
a photo, like, very soon, and it might even be on my Instagram while this airs, but I thought it was so cute, and so we did
I
that when
love
she was here too, so
that. That's
yes.
really, really cool. Where so I because you've been doing I people that have been following you on Instagram will see that you've been making some changes to the yard. I know you have
Yeah.
your garden set up now. Where is it like in proximity to your front door, for example? Or like when where's the
Well,
lettuce grow now? Because all that's changed,
yeah.
right?
So in our front yard, you walk up like a ramp and it kinda goes up to our house because it's elevated, and there's a bit of it's a decent sized little porch. I would there's not a whole lot of room there, but I have, like, my aloe vera, and I have a cactus, and then I have the pumpkin. So if that kinda makes sense, it's basically if you were to walk outside of my front door, it would just be, like, straight ahead, like, a foot ahead.
Oh,
And
that's cool.
yeah, I also have, like, a mat right there too, so it's really cute. And then the lettuce grow is now in the backyard, which it used to be on the back porch, but I was finding that it wasn't getting enough light. So now
Right.
I've sort of created a full moment on the side of our, gate or fence rather, and it's
Okay.
2 garden beds and then the lettuce grow in the middle, and it just looks really
Oh,
cute.
that sounds so nice. That's really cool. It's very,
Yeah.
like, balanced, you know?
Yes, and, to go into that update, I've also planted seeds. So my sister got here, and on her first day, we sowed some seeds together,
Oh,
and
that's
literally,
cute.
they sprouted, like, the next day, and today as she left, they're, like, big, dude, and she was amazed because she's a plant mom, but not, like, she's not crazy like we are, Angelique. Um,
Hello.
she was just amazed at how fast they grew, and I was too, low key. I'm like, "Really?" So we got
It's
things,
crazy.
yeah, and because today's nice, I'm gonna do, like, my final seed sowing, after we wrap.
Oh my
Um,
god, yay!
yeah, but I have lots of flowers planted. You guys, I was able to find a pretty large specimen of a banana pepper plant. So I'm gonna have things, like, in stages. Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah, so lots of little seeds, lots of baby seedlings, baby plants, and lots of flowers. So yeah, I'm really just loving my garden, and I'm hoping we get a lot of crops, and I'll keep you guys posted.
That's so crazy. You're like a full-fledged farmer, Holly. It's Farmer
Right?
Holly.
Farmer Holly. I even have hunter boots, so I'm walking around in my boots. Oh,
Oh,
I have to
I'm
tell you
so here for it. What
a
happened?
funny moment. So my sister eats eggs every morning. So I was like, dude, let's go to the chickens because our family next door on the property we both live on, there's a chicken coop. So I'm like, well, let's go get some eggs. And I couldn't find a basket, so I literally had a mini Sephora bag. I'm like, let's go shopping.
Let's go shopping. I really need some eggs.
I'm like, it's all about balance, you know.
Yeah, that's very
It
funny.
was really cute. And
How often are there eggs?
like every day.
Wow, they really pop them out, don't they?
They sure do, dude. Like literally. So we went kind of early, and only one gal had popped out an egg. She was still sitting on it, and I'm like, "Excuse me." So I grabbed it, and dude, the egg was warm. Like that's how fresh it was.
Oh, she had just come out.
Mm-hmm.
That's so crazy. It blows my mind that their bodies produce a shell.
Yeah.
Like, that it's not
Right.
just the egg. Like, you know what I mean? Like, the fact that there's, like, a case around it blows my mind. That's hard.
I
I
know. It
wonder if
makes
it
me think of our
hardens as soon
eggs.
as it's out. What's that?
Like makes me think of women's eggs.
No, it's cr
Like you know,
girl.
not that it's
Mm-mm.
literal shells. I'm just saying, like
Ew,
that's the
imagine
term. They're
if
called
that's what we
eggs. So
produced. Ew, I'd be so scared.
I would be too. It's like ew, giving birth.
Yeah, and it, like, probably I mean, I guess the eggs aren't that big, but still, like, it's bigger than a tampon.
Yeah, it's like a diva cup.
Oh my god, it is!
Kind
I've
of,
never
yeah.
tried one.
Me either. I really
I
want to though. I'm
I
like,
think we might have talked about this once because, like, I feel bad using tampons as far as the
do
environment.
too. And I
Yeah.
think I use the very toxic ones, like, what is it? Like Playtex something, like,
Oh,
I
yeah,
have to
I
be
don't
bougie with my tampons. Oh, we did talk about
I think
this.
we did talk about it once. I I would love to branch out, but just the Costco deal is so good. It's like 96 for like $10. So that's what I have usually. It does the job, but I definitely want to branch out. So if anybody has ideas,
Right?
let us know. Send us your period
Ah,
recommendations.
please, our DMs are open.
God, all the guys have just dropped off of this episode.
Yeah, they're like, "Alright, they're going
They're
at it
like, "Oh,
again."
there they go again." Fuck.
Poor Josh listening to this. Oh.
Oh, he gets it all. He knows.
But tell us about your week,
Oh my
Angelique.
gosh, it's
How are
been
you?
good, broke and good.
Oh,
No, it's okay. I just don't have a lot of work this month. You know, you guys know kind of how my jobs are just up and down, but I'm
for
doing
sure.
fine. I'm trying to be creative. I'm doing a lot of acting things. So I'm in I think I've told you guys already, but I'm in rehearsals. It's been about 3 weeks for Rent, the musical.
Yes, how's that going?
It's a journey,
Mhm.
to say the least. It's good. I'm doing it with Matt, which is always fun.
Mm.
Like, we're always causing a ruckus, and we just laugh so
Did you
much.
guys
So
get cast in the same ways?
yes, because I think I
Same
told you
cast?
guys that they were double casting the show. The director was really nice, and she's like, "I know you guys are besties. I'm putting you in the same one." And I was
Well,
like,
and that's
"Thank
smart on
you."
their part because you're gonna have natural chemistry and,
Oh,
you know?
totally. It's actually pretty crazy because we have so many things we're doing together. There's a part where we're,
Oh,
like, both being sneaky together. Like, we have a lot of, like, partner scenes, which is fun even though we're background. So it's a
yeah.
lot of fun, and the chemistry is great, and you know, make people laugh and stuff, so that feels good. It's been a very interesting process for any of you guys that are in, like, the theater space or perform, whatever.
Mhm.
It's my first time being double cast in anything, and so the rehearsal process, because you know, it's community theater, low budget, we're all doing big group rehearsals in a fairly small space, and it's just kind of hard. Like, we've been saying how, like, it's kinda hard to connect because we don't really know exactly who our cast is. Like, we know some of the people in it, but it's mixed with other people. So it's like if I'm being creative and then playing with a character, a person that is not gonna end up being in my cast, I just feel like
Mm.
building this chemistry has been a little bit of a challenge, but I think they're gonna split us up soon, which is gonna help a lot. So,
Yeah, I was gonna say I did, community theater, and it was like
yeah.
that a couple times, but luckily within, like, the first week or 2, we were separated, so then you kind of knew who you were playing opposite of, but
Right.
I think once you guys do make that separation, it should improve a lot, and make it
I
flow.
think you're right, and that's the thing, like, I completely understand why we have to do it this way. I just think, like,
Yeah,
I'm new to it, but it's been
yeah.
really good. The music's fun. I'm excited to see it on its feet. We've done some really cool, like, dance numbers already and some blocking, so that's been a lot of fun, and then on top of that, so not last weekend, 2 weekends ago now, I was in my first theater festival here in LA called 1448 Hollywood,
I
and it
saw
originated
that.
yeah, so it originated in Seattle, and it's called 1448 because it's 14 plays in 48 hours,
Woof.
which is crazy. It's,
Angelique's like, "Sign me up."
uh,
Sounds like
I'm
yeah.
ready. Oh my god, it was insane. So pretty much there's 7 it's like short plays, like no more than 10 minutes each. So it'll be 7 shows each night, 2 nights in a row. And the way this works, guys, is on like it's all volunteer based, whatever. And on Thursday night, well, there was a topic that was not voted on. We all submitted topic ideas and then they pulled it out of like a hat or what. I think they pulled it out of a popcorn bucket actually. It was very cute.
Uh-huh.
And that's the topic that the 7 writers got or yeah, 7 writers got that night at, like, I don't even like 9 o'clock or 8 o'clock, and they had to write through the night a full script and turn it in by 8 a.m. the next day. And
Ooh,
then yeah, and then so 8 a.m. the next day, they turn it in. At 9 o'clock, they meet with directors, and the directors don't know which shows they have. So
okay.
they pick up, like, random envelopes, like manila envelopes,
Yep.
and they open it, and then that's the script they have. They don't know how many actor I think they
Wow.
know yeah,
It
they don't
sounds
know how
like
many actors they have or anything.
this reminds me so much of the 48-hour film fest. Like,
Same idea, super same idea, just with theater, which I'd never seen done before, which I thought
Amazing.
was really cool. So, the directors get their scripts, they have, I think, like, a half hour or an hour, I think it's a half hour to talk with the writer and kinda, like, learn about the story, and then the actors, we got there at 9:30, they pull and then what do they do? Oh, they call each writer up, and then the writer like, they know that their script has 3 actors, for example, they pull the names out of a hat, and that's how they find out the actors they
Wow.
have. So it could be a script intended for 3, like, women or female identifying
Yeah.
people, but then maybe you'll get all men.
Wow.
So that's really fun and just crazy to see how everybody pivots. So then you get your scripts from your directors, you get assigned your play, whatever, and then you rehearse from, like, 10 o'clock till so 1 o'clock was lunch. So 10 to 1, you rehearse and
Yeah.
block the show, read it, cast it, everything. Lunch 1 to 2, which, like, it's flexible, like, if you wanna rehearse through lunch, you can. And
Yeah.
then at 2 o'clock, the directors have a meeting, and then at 2:30, tech rehearsal starts, where you add lights
Oh,
and sound, and
wow.
there's a live band. So the live band gets the scripts in the morning, and then they create intro and outro songs for each piece
Oh
and
my
have to learn it on the piano and on the
gosh.
guitar and everything. So it's cr and
Wow.
while all this is happening, there's designers that have just gotten the scripts, and they're building set pieces and costumes. It's crazy.
Wow, that
It's
is incredible.
yeah, and then by 7 o'clock, the show opened. So in, like, less
Oh
than
my
12 hours. Yeah.
gosh. That is really cool. How
It
many
was
plays were
crazy.
you in?
1 each night, so each person
Okay.
was in 2 shows.
Oh my
It
gosh.
was crazy. I got to be on Friday night um, a child that died and my body was taken over by a fairy, and then I'm like this, like but
Whoa.
fairies are really creepy in this story, they're not cutesy, they're like and they're just, like imagine, like,
Oh.
floating entities, so they can just go into bodies of like roadkill and stuff, but if they get lucky and they find a kid, they'll like take over, and it's really creepy. But that was a
Ooh,
very fun role to play because I never get cast in, like, I haven't gotten cast in creepy things ever.
got it.
Because I don't think people look at me and they're like, "Oh, creepy baby." So that was like actually a
You're just
lot
not
of
living
fun.
creepy baby.
I- yeah. And then on the next night, this was also a fun role. I played this woman named Lisa, and it was a comedy about me dating another woman who's asexual,
Okay.
and I want to hook up. And so it's like how we're navigating this relationship when they are not always so inclined to be physical. And
Got
so we go to
it.
an asexual dominatrix. And this was freaking crazy, guys, because there was a designer working who is a practicing, like, they work as a dominatrix. They have a dungeon. So she just, or sorry,
What?
they just went home and brought all of their dildos and like whips and things.
They're like, "I got
Holly,
just the thing."
oh my god, and like they taught me how to like tie rope a little bit.
Oh
I
my
was like,
gosh.
"Oh my god." And then and then I was like, "Where do you want me to put the rope at
The
the
life
end of the
skill you
show?"
didn't know you needed.
Oh, ever since I watched How to Build a Sex Dungeon, it's been on the list.
Sorry, continue.
But it wasn't anything like like intense, but she
Yeah.
had showed me how to like safely tie rope and stuff. And I was like, "Oh, where do you want me to put the prop at the end of the show?" And she's like, "I want you to just take it home and tie your boyfriend up with it." And I was like,
Your now fiance.
yeah, fiance. I was like, "All right, person, we got the ring." I wasn't wearing it, so maybe, but whatever.
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah, I'm still adjusting to saying boyfriend versus fiance. I slip
I was
sometimes, but
gonna ask you, yeah.
I'm getting used to it. It's funsies, it's cute, but it was so much fun, and it was so, you guys, oh
Yeah,
my god. I mean, I've been to a bachelorette party or two, but it was nothing compared to the dick I saw on stage that day. Oh, so again, they're very skilled with ropes. What they did was, because you have to create a set out of not much, they
yeah.
had what looked like a big rolling rack, but very long. And
Okay.
instead of like adding cardboard to it or something to create a dungeon wall, they just did a whole bunch of rope tying and then hung all the toys with carabiners
Oh.
onto it like a wall. It was really cool. I'll send you a picture.
Oh, nice.
But there was this one penile thing. It was a penis made out of like silicone,
Oh,
suspended in.
I thought you were talking about one of the actors, like, went full frontal. I just
Oh
assumed.
no. Oh no. The dominatrix was wearing like lingerie, but nothing like they were still fairly covered.
Oh, got it, got it, got it.
Oh, but yeah, they looked great. But there's this penis suspended on the rope wall. Holly, truly, I think 14 inches.
Oh
No,
my
maybe
gosh.
16. This big around. You guys, more girth than a soda can.
It's not even gonna fit in, well, it could fit in your
Well,
mouth, but dang,
I
like,
asked. I was
uh-huh.
like, I know there's no man on earth that
Right,
has a dick this big. It's
right.
like 10 of the ones I've seen would fit into one of those. Like, that's how big it was. And then, oh my god,
What did they
and then
say?
someone came up to me and they were like, "Yeah, but the butthole really expands." And I was like, "Oh."
Oh, okay, I thought that's what you were gonna say.
I think that makes a lot more sense, but I'm like, "It expands that big?"
I didn't know what to do with
But
her.
then I'm wondering, like, I guess maybe the front, like, if baby heads come out of it, it was probably, like, the size of a baby head as far as, like, diameter, but at the same
Right.
time, like,
But I mean,
but
like,
women tear.
women tear and also the body naturally dilates when it's going into labor. It's not
Right,
like
like, we
you
don't
do
dilate all
that.
willy-nilly, people.
Yeah, no.
Oh my god, it was big.
Wow.
I
So
don't
for
have
the
any
2
other word.
people still listening, no, I'm just kidding.
Oh my god, I know, I'm so sorry, guys.
Yeah.
This is
Hey, it's not your who cares? There's no
whew, it
we're not
was
shaming anything here, I'm just
it
saying.
was crazy, people, like, and it was, but it was very funny because my saying, like, there's what something that I just say right now, and it's, like, my favorite thing is that a girl loves a prop because 'cause I'm a big prop actor.
Girl loves
Like,
a prop.
a girl loves a it's literally my bio on my main Instagram.
It's so cute.
'Cause I do love a prop. I need something when I'm on stage. I can handle not having anything, but I'm not good at not having anything in my hands or, like, not
Helps.
even glasses. Like, I need something.
Yeah.
And the dominatrix, we rehearsed it all day without props, and then on stage handed me this bright purple dildo, and I just sniffed it, and my friend was in the audience and like passed out laughing. This one was not used. It was confirmed as brand new, by the way. Yeah, oh yeah, it smelled like air, but it was so funny. And then my instinct was to just put it down on my lap while she's having their monologue, but it was like right on top of like my vagina, just like sticking up, and I was just holding it in place. It was so funny. Holly, I wish you were there.
God,
I'm
I
waiting for
really wish I
photos.
was there.
They
That
had
is
like a professional
funny.
photographer, so I'm really hoping that she got some good photos.
Oh, I'm sure she did. And what was your
Yeah.
official character with that one?
So that one was I'm in a relationship with someone who's
Oh, yes.
asexual. So
Got it,
I'm
got it,
like,
got it.
it's like, let's go see an asexual dominatrix. They can help us. Like it's like stuff like
Got it,
that.
got it, got it, got it.
Um,
Okay, yeah.
and then my first one, I played a little girl named Ollie, who
The
my
fairy.
yeah, I become like a fairy demon thing. It was really cool.
That is awesome. What a
Yeah,
wide range of, like, characters you got to play and,
it was
like, that is
crazy.
awesome.
Yeah,
I
so it was a
love
lot of
that.
fun, met some really cool theater people, and that's about it. I nothing crazy on the plant front. I have the same new plants that I showed you guys last time, but nothing since that. A few things have been dying. One of the lights went out in my greenhouse, so I'm in this, like,
Mm,
another transitional phase, but it's
yeah.
feeling good. I know I'm taking up so much time. I'm done. Okay, last thing. My
Okay.
luxurians radicans, I think I told you guys that I had, like, a little poop when I got back from Europe.
That's right, because you thought it was, like, dying beforehand.
Yeah, the leaf's open. It's tiny, but it's really
Oh,
cute.
tiny but mighty.
Tiny but mighty, and it's like I feel really confident about it. So I'm getting so scared to adapt to move things to pots when they're doing so well
Yeah,
in like confined boxes with the humidity. So
I feel
I'm
that.
giving it some time, but I can't close it anymore because it's already bigger than what I had it in.
Woo,
But yeah, it's so cutesy. So I'll keep you guys posted on that. But things are good. Good on the
good,
West Coast.
good.
Yes. Well,
Oh,
Holly, I know
good.
we've got quite the episode today, but
Sure
super
do.
quick. Do you think we have time for our plant mommy? How do you feel?
Yeah, I
I think we do
think.
too. Yeah,
Why
well,
not?
cool. We'll make it quick. Who do we got today, Holly?
Alright, if my gloves will let me, here we go. I'm on
Oh
my
yeah, and
phone.
don't forget if you want to take your gloves off for your sweater. I know it's probably hot for you.
I'll start shedding layers. Yeah, don't you
Sh-
worry.
You're gonna start skinning, Cruella?
Ooh, that was good, but also
Ugh,
sad.
I'm here all day.
If only you had a prop.
Oh,
Okay,
a girl loves a prop.
today we have the one and only at the Peaceful Planter, aka Katie Mae Pakash. I'm gonna say that
Kakash,
correctly.
yes. Katie is super cool, guys. They're based out of Boise, Idaho. And I just, first and foremost, I love their handle.
I
I
do
think
too.
it's just like, oh, I
The
feel
dot
calm
peaceful
already.
dot planter. And also
Yes,
I think that they have an amazing job title. Like
it's a
it is
dream.
officially called Therapeutic Horticulture Activity Specialist. I mean, come on.
Isn't that
How awesome
cool?
is that?
I was looking at Katie's profile, and I think she was certified in, like, 2021, if I wanted to say, but I need to double check, but they're like it's like a real full-on job. They get to lead group sessions that are, like, therapeutic and help plants help
Wow.
people grow, no pun intended, and I thought that was such a cool and really fulfilling job, and she seems to really love it. It's so you can see it just in her post, just, like, the joy that they get from it, and I thought that was so sweet.
That is really awesome. I wanna take a look at some of their, plants. I know you mentioned the compo, philodendron compo.
I didn't know this plant was a
Beautiful.
thing, Holly.
Oh, I have one I didn't show you. I'm
Apparently
gonna show you.
not. I'm just kidding. No, I'm
No,
kidding.
well,
I'm
it's
totally joking. I've probably seen it and not knew what didn't know what I was seeing. You know what I mean?
I feel like it's kind of underrated, you know, it's not talked about a whole lot, but
Well,
it
that's
has
how I
beautiful
felt.
bunny
I saw
ears.
hers and I was like, this is so cool.
Yes, it's super cool, and let me see, also, I'm so sorry, I don't know if no, no, she's she, her, I'm so sorry. She is a very beautiful gal, that's what I was trying to get at.
She is, yes. I really like
Also
did you see it's one of her more recent, I think it might be like her most recent plant post. It's the angel vine plant, which I think the scientific name is the Merlinbeckia complexa.
I think I've heard of that.
I had
Yes.
never seen this one before either, but it's so cool.
So
Yes, that's
dainty
the
and
one.
delicate. Also, what a fun and fitting planter that it's in. It's in a skull planter. Love
It's really
that.
cool.
Also,
And
we did
then
not mention I'm sorry, here I
no,
am
go ahead,
finding
please.
she is based in Boise, and I really wanna visit Boise. I'm
You
just
should come
missing the
with me. My
mountains.
brother lives there.
I know. Maybe we could, I don't know, plan
And
a
then we
trip.
could also see, one of our other plant mommies lives in Boise as well.
No way.
Julia. Mhm.
Well, maybe that's the next on the road trip Boozy
I would
takes.
absolutely love that, actually. I also wanted to
Nice.
point out, I know it's like, I mean, I feel like they used to be a bigger deal, but we've talked about, like, the Rio, the philodendron Rio, but hers is
Yes,
so variegated.
it really is, and
I was
the
shocked. I was
size of
like,
the
"Don't
leaves
look at
are
mine."
good.
Well, I guess mine's a cream splash technically, but yes.
Right. So it's not your fault. It's a cream
Yeah, it's
splash.
not literally my fault, and the Cebu blue that she
And
has is really pretty.
she's also posing with some mini daffodils, and I just think it's so cute and, like, mountainy. I don't know, it makes me think of the mountains when I see, like, yellow flowers like
Oh,
that.
me too. Well, her
So
Instagram as a whole is very aesthetically pleasing. It gives me that sort of similar to not the same as Breeze, who we had on a couple weeks ago, but like
mhm.
this it has like a cooler environment sort of vibe. You know what I mean? Like I
It's
think
so
Utah and
true.
Colorado and just like so chill. Again, no
It's the
pun
same
intended.
same kind of vibe as, accounts that are based in the Pacific Northwest. It just has, like, this cozy, like, crunchy leaves nature vibe, and
Yes,
I'm
yes.
so here for it. Yeah, just beautiful. Could be 'cause, I love the cool tones that all her photos sort of have too. It's, like,
That
warm,
must
but
be what it
mood
is.
pop a lot. So,
Yes, I agree.
yeah. Oh my
I'm
goodness, I don't wanna forget
taking
anything to shout her out.
yes, I just wanna make sure oh, yes, yes, yes,
Oh,
regarding as well I learned a new word, so thank you, Katie. You put biophiliac on your bio,
isn't that
and
cute?
I didn't know that this was a word. I'm learning so much
Yes.
today. It's such a cute definition. It's like a lover of life. I was like, "I
Yes.
am also a biophiliac, thank you."
Biophiliac. Now we would
Is
be
it bio
remiss.
or bio? What should we call it?
Uh, let me see. How is it
Is it
spelled there?
biophiliac or biophiliac?
I think it's bio.
Okay, cool. I just wanna make sure I'm saying it right. Oh my god, of course, big news for Katie.
Yes,
They
yes.
are it has not released yet as far as I know, but they are starting the Peaceful Planter podcast as well,
Oh my gosh,
which
I cannot
I thought was
wait. That
so
sounds
cool.
amazing. That would
It's
be the perfect podcast to listen to in the car, and just,
a
like,
little road trip plant podcast.
sounds very,
I
like,
love that.
relaxing. Ugh,
They,
nice.
not they, whatever, sorry, I keep getting tongue-tied, guys. I didn't warm up today. Her podcast is not out yet because I was looking to follow it earlier, but if you guys follow her on her Instagram at the dot peaceful dot planter, I believe that she'll be posting updates on when that happens, so stay tuned. And if you want to do mail or local trades in Boise, just DM her and see if she's about it because she has some really cute specimens. So that'd be fun to find out as
Yes.
well. And just, oh,
Aw.
and yeah, and if you just want to even just look at wildflowers, like that's on her Instagram too. And I think it's so pretty. Just
Aw.
makes me feel good, you know?
Does, it really does. Well,
Yes.
thank you
So,
so much
Katie,
for being our
thank
plant
you.
mommy.
Yes, you
Aw,
guys, don't forget to follow. She's great.
yay. Well,
Holly.
Angelique, we have a fun
Yes.
episode with, and included a little segment, but I forgot my potion book, so I'm gonna have to go get it. I know.
Do you wanna go get it, or do you want me to start on my stuff? What do you want?
Well, you can start on your stuff, and I will go get the book of potions, and I will be right
Okay.
back.
Cool. So, Holly's just stepping out for a quick second, guys, and I'm really excited for this episode because we're both bringing some spooky elements to the show. So, last year, we told you guys about some toxic plants that we were interested in, like we wanted to share with you. This is kind of taking it a step further because, as you guys know, I went to England like a month ago and I visited my best friend Chelsea in Newcastle, which is almost borders Scotland. It's very north. And she took us to Alnwick Castle, which is where some of Harry Potter was filmed. And it's just this gorgeous old castle. I think like a duke owns it or whatever. And there's also a beautiful garden, which we got to check out. And specifically, there is a poison garden, which is super duper cool. And we got to go on a poison garden tour. And so today, in honor of that tour, I wanted to highlight some of the plants that they have in their garden. I just chose 5 faves to do for today, and it's so cool. If you guys get the chance to go, they have around 100 super toxic and deadly narcotic plants in their garden, and
I'm
it's
so
crazy seeing.
stoked.
Yeah, like, you should see what the workers, like, the gardeners have to wear just to, like,
Are you
prune the plants and,
serious?
like, take care. Yeah.
Oh,
And if you guys are interested, I can, include it in the bio if you guys would like, or in the copy. They actually have a little intro video on their website showing, it's like a 2.5-minute, very mini documentary of, like, what they're about, and you can see some of their plants and how they take care of them, and it's
wow.
crazy. So I used that video as a reminder of some of the stuff I had seen, and just threw in one fan fave from last year's,
I
toxic
think I
plants.
saw it. Yes,
Yes,
I'm
but I'm
loving
very
it.
excited to share it with you, Holly, share it with the listeners, because it was so fun to read about, actually, and educational,
I
because there's some of
bet.
these plants where I'm like, pretty sure I saw that on my walk with my kid. And it's like things
Oh
that
my
you think of, like, little
gosh.
kids, or just people, like the romantic guy trying to pick up a flower for you, or like a kid picking up a seed. And it's like, you don't realize how dangerous some of this stuff can be. And a
I
big thing
know.
they were saying on the tour was knowledge is, what did they say? Like, knowledge is power, I guess? Like, they were like,
Knowledge is
knowledge is what will
protection?
protect you.
Interesting. That
And,
makes
like,
sense. And also don't eat
yeah.
random berries and that you find in the forest.
Oh, and I'm gonna talk about some berries, and if you eat them, you're gonna super regret it. It's crazy.
Oh my
Holly,
goodness.
shall we talk about some planties, or do you wanna do your potion? You wanna talk about the potions first? Because 'Cause I'm really
Well,
excited about this.
I have some fun little potions if you guys wanna hear about it. That
Mm!
way we can get that out of the way. So,
I'm really excited.
welcome to the plant potion segment of this
With
episode, this
Cruella
Halloween
Deville.
with Cruella Deville for this
Of course, she has
Halloween episode.
potions.
She's a witch too? My goodness. Okay, so the first one we have is called the Pest Plague Potion. Now, this is to get rid of general pests that you do not want in your garden, and you're gonna start with, 8 ounces of water, or you could do a half cup, whatever. The
Ooh.
Castile soap, the eucalyptus, a 1/4 of a cup. It's a lot, but we wanna get rid of these
Mhm.
pests.
Mhm.
Next, you're gonna use 8 drops of peppermint essential oil. And optional, you can use some neem oil concentrate, just a little dollop. And you're gonna put this into a spray bottle, shake it up really good, and spray those leaves, and that will cause a plague on the plant
And
pest.
they'll all die.
Yes. Now the next one is a dry potion, and it's called fairy dust fertilizer. And
I'm
what you
obsessed with
do,
that.
yes, you're gonna take equal parts worm castings, equal parts coffee grounds, and then you're gonna throw in on top of it all osmocote granules, which are those little granules that you guys see when you like repot a plant from a big box store, but they're pretty cool because they're slow release fertilizer beads,
Is
essentially.
that what those little yellow round things are?
Yeah, they have
Oh, they're
different
not
colors.
eggs.
No.
I'm like, "What the hell animal went into my soil?"
Kind of, yeah, what kind of spider egg is
You
this?
see it a lot in Miracle Grow, I think.
Yes, yeah, and a lot
Right.
of other things too, but big box or even just, like, big nurseries do it because it's a slow
Yeah.
release, so you're gonna have the quicker acting, ingredients with the, worm castings, and then coffee grounds have nitrogen, and then a slow release with the granules, and then what you wanna do is just kinda sprinkle that either while you're repotting, mix it into your medium, or you can sprinkle it on the top of the pot as well, and when you water it in, the potion, the fairy dust will get taken up by the soil. And
Oh, that's
then
so cool.
for our very last spooky potion, this is called the Spooky Spider
Ooh.
Mite. Now, this is a little interesting because spider mites will not be cast down from the pest plague because they're crazy motherfuckers.
Because
So,
they're nightmares.
yes, they're nightmares. So, we are using water. Same thing, get a spray bottle. You want water, you want green cleaner concentrate, which I've talked about green cleaner so much. I really love them. It's a more like a marijuana grower sort of, at least it's geared for marijuana growers, and it's a natural pest prevention concentrate, and it's, it has to be natural as well, not only because, people are inhaling weed, but
Right, right.
or, cooking with it, but also because, like we said, the spider mites do not react to regular pesticides. So that's why a lot of people will tell you neem oil, even though neem oil doesn't, in my opinion, work. They
Yeah.
say that though because it is natural. So if it was to even have
Right, right.
a chance at killing the spider mites, that's what it's going to be. So you want to take water. You want to take green cleaner concentrate. You could also use Azamax natural pesticide. That's a good one. And then you are going to use some neem oil concentrate, about 2 teaspoons, just for good
Mm.
luck. And again, it is a concentrate, so it
Good luck.
good luck with the smell, rather.
Right, right.
And those are my planty potions for you.
How
This
cool. Holly, that's so fun.
yeah.
Do you have a favorite out of all of them?
Well, I really like the first one because it does smell, first of all, like eucalyptus, and then with the added peppermint drops, I really do enjoy that.
Yeah,
And then honestly, like I love a good fertilizer, so the fairy dust is a good one too.
yeah.
And I hope to never have to use the spooky spider mite potion, but who knows?
Someone may.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
have in
that'd
the
be such a
past.
cool thing to develop for Halloween time.
How cute, right?
You better go talk to Cameron. You're like, I'm pitching things too.
Yes, you heard it here first, people.
Hello, copywritten, done. That's really cool. Well,
Yeah.
Holly, I was telling the listeners about just a quick recap that I went to a poison garden at Felinic
Yes.
Castle in the Newcastle. It's north of Newcastle near Scotland. And I've chosen some faves that I want to share with you today.
Yay.
You can see my notes look kind of all over the place, but I'm going to try to get through them. I also just really wanted to tell there we I need to just look over my notes really quick. Sorry guys. I did also want to mention that the boundaries of the poison garden that this is inspired by are kept
Yeah.
behind their words, black iron gates, only open on guided tours. And this was really okay, just a funny tidbit. They're like
Uh-huh.
emphasizing all these poisonous plants, right? Josh is walking through it and he's like, that's literally cannabis. Like they had
What?
weed growing in a corner, but
Really?
weed's illegal in the UK. So I'm guessing like they threw it in as like
Oh.
poisonous and evil. It wasn't, I
That's
don't think it was mentioned on the
crazy.
tour, but he just noticed it and he's like, that's definitely a pot leaf. But that made me laugh.
Wow.
So I guess that
That's
was the
so
one not
funny.
poisonous plant. But the first one
Right.
I want to talk about is nightshade, aka Atropa
Mhm.
belladonna. This was probably one of my favorites that they talked about on the tour. So I'm
Oh
starting
my
with this one
gosh.
and I'm going to tell you how it looks, that sort of thing. And then I'm going to tell you why the name is so cool. So features, it's surrounded by the it grows berries, these like really dark black berries. And you can see that in the first photo, Holly.
Yeah, it
And it's
almost looks like
surrounded
a
by
holly berry.
yeah, it's surrounded by 5
Consistency.
thick sepals, which is like the pointy part that makes it look like a star that you see it like under
Yeah.
roses, that part that sticks out.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's description wise. That's really dark, round. They remind me of the Demogorgon from Stranger Things a little bit.
Yes, the mouth.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. The berries themselves are highly toxic. They're also a perennial plant, which I believe means that I looked up this word before. I'm already forgetting. They
It
come
grows
back
year
every year.
round. Mhm. Well,
Yes.
yes, yeah,
Right? Ish, yeah. They have
yeah.
long, thin branches. The leaves are oval shaped and they are untoothed, so they're very smooth looking. And they have little pointed ends on the leaves. Green, typical. Yeah, I think what's more important is that you know what the berries look like because I feel like so many leaves look
Sure.
similar. You might not realize. They grow on stalks and in like an alternate pattern. So it's like one stem, other stem. It's just very back and forth.
Cool.
And then they have these cute little flowers or these little bell-shaped purpley
Yeah.
greenish flowers that kind of point downward. I think they're
No,
really pretty and I think it's so funny that so many poisonous plants have the most gorgeous flowers.
I was gonna ask, are the flowers themselves toxic or poisonous at all?
If I'm not mistaken, I believe the entire plant is poisonous, but especially the berries.
Wow,
I
okay.
would
Yeah, they
don't
are
quote me on that one,
beautiful.
guys, but I'm pretty sure the entire thing is poisonous.
This
The
definitely looks like one of the flower characters from Alice in Wonderland,
it does. It totally does. I
right?
know
Like, it
exactly
would
what
be
you're
one of the
talking about.
characters.
Yes, it does. Again, double check on whether or not the whole thing is poisonous, but I believe it is. As far as where it's found, it's funny because I was on a UK website and it said scrubby areas, which I think meant like shrubbery. But they
Oh,
said
scrubby.
scrubby area, woodlandy areas is the main thing. You can also find it along paths and water banks. And it's very
Interesting.
big in the south of England, south of Britain. And they said it's in very chalky soil, which I thought was, I wanted to
Interesting.
actually ask you what you thought that meant because I couldn't get a good definition of it. I wasn't sure if that just meant chunky soil or like powdery
Maybe
soil, like
like
chalk.
dry, powdery. I mean,
That's what
almost sandy, right? Kind of like,
maybe it's sandy then because I mean the
yeah,
England's obviously very wet, very humid. Um,
exactly.
and this is a fun fact. While we can't ingest it, various animals can eat it and not get hurt at all, which is just
Wow.
so interesting to me. But I wanted to give you guys a history fun fact regarding this plant. Belladonna,
Yes.
a lot of you know, means beautiful woman. As
Mhm.
it was in this plant, I think again, specifically the berries, if I'm not mistaken, but this plant was used by Renaissance women to dilate their pupils. But the thing and because they wanted to make themselves more attractive to the men that were going to pursue them. Because that's all you were worth. That's all you were worth
Oh.
back then was just a pretty face to have babies, you know?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
they
yeah, yeah.
thought that by dilating their eyes, they would attract their male suitors more. So they used this
Oh,
poisonous plant to dilate their eyes because it like inflames
that
it.
sounds
But
safe.
little did they know that they were slowly going blind because they were literally destroying their eyes. And
And
a
those
trope,
women were like they were savages back then. They don't care what it took to get a
as
husband.
long as they, yeah, hello, it's crazy. And then atropa, because again, the scientific name is if, what did I say it was? Atropa
Atropa
belladonna.
belladonna.
Yes. So atropa is in reference to Atropos, which was one of the three fates in Greek mythology, which is fun as far as like theater goes, who
Yes.
snipped the sting of a person's life and decided their death. Yeah, it's
Oh.
pretty dark. But it's funny because something you're gonna learn throughout our talk is that so many poisonous plants have a lot of medicinal properties if used properly. So this plant
Yeah.
is used to ease abdominal problems and motion sickness, and then kind of where the
No
eyes come
way.
back into play. Eye surgeons will use it in a very refined, tiny state to help dilate the pupils when they need to work on people's eyes.
My
Isn't
goodness.
that
That is
crazy?
so crazy. I mean, it's like it's interesting because you think about like prescription drugs and like where they come
Mhm.
from. A lot of them do come from plants. So it's crazy to
100%.
think about.
But it's crazy,
Wow.
like, how unsafe they are in, like, an untreated form, and I'm like, "What the hell did people have to do to figure out this plant could help and
I
not
know, like
kill?"
when they say causes you to die from extreme diarrhea. I'm like,
Mhm.
"Oh, that poor human," like, whoever it was.
They're like,
So I
"I'm
think
just gonna
last
take the
year
poop, it's fine. I don't
I
wanna take the thing."
know.
Right.
Oh my god, I think last year that was one of the side effects because we were talking about a few toxic plants
We
and
did, it was crazy.
ugh,
I was like, "Yeah, no
sorry,
thanks.
my
I'll
day.
be fine. I'm gonna be A-okay."
My
And then
Cruella
the
wig is getting hot.
take it
Sorry.
off if you wanna take it off.
No, 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 no.
It looks so cute on you. I like this cut on you with the waves, the beach waves.
I
It's very pretty.
really? The haircut's kinda cute. Okay,
I like it. It's
continue.
kinda like a little bob. I'm really into it. So number 2 is a fan favorite from last year, foxglove, aka Digitalis
Ah,
purpurea, which is the most beautiful plant. It
it
is
really
so
is.
it's known for their pinky purple flowers. Sometimes you're lucky and you can get them in white as well. And they have darker color spots on the lower lip of the flower and they grow in like a in an upward spiral
Kinda like
and
almost
they
like a Christmas tree
yes, they
overall,
have a
like, in
they
shape.
do, they do have that sort of, like, pointy, skinny, tall vibe that a
Tiny.
tree
Yeah.
does, the Christmas tree. I would say
Mm,
tube-shaped maybe helps, and they
yeah,
grow yeah.
I was just gonna say the little flowers look like little bells to me.
Mhm. They
Yeah.
do, and I would argue to me they're more bell-like than the first one that we were talking about, than the
Oh, you're
nightshade.
right.
They all
Yeah.
I've noticed a lot of poisonous plants are belly as well. I don't know why, but I don't know
Right?
the reasoning, but yes, they're very pretty, they're very vibrant, like, I love this plant, and I'm like, "I wish I could touch it."
So,
It's
can you not touch it?
well, I think
Is
you
that kind of
can. You can so, let me verify. I'm trying to remember exactly what it
I
does.
ask because I have foxglove seeds, and I've seen them sold Seen them sold
That's the
at
thing, they're not, like,
garden centers.
illegal or anything. I think the thing is you can't how funny, I thought I wrote it down. I actually didn't write the toxicity on this one, so my bad, guys.
It's okay.
Um, I think if you ingest it in large quantities, it can be
That
really
makes
fatal.
sense.
Because
Okay, got
medicinally, it can be used to treat heart failure and high blood pressure because it raises your blood flow, increases the body's defense mechanisms. So, I think it's
wow.
a matter of ingesting it and it getting into your bloodstream. So if it's an uncontrolled amount, that's when it can be fatal.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yes. So a lot of these is like where they grow, and a lot of them are UK based because of the tour I was on. But you can get, like, obviously, like
Right.
Holly said, you can get these stateside. A lot of these plants that were shown in the garden, because they're talking about what's in the UK, they're invasive because they were brought over hundreds of years ago by other countries and things like that.
Oh,
So you have a
wow.
lot of these plants in the US as well, but it's just,
Yeah,
they're all over the place now. The other cool thing
interesting.
about the cool thing that I found about foxglove that I liked is that they're a huge pollen source for bees, particularly a bee called the carder bee, Carder,
Oh.
and they're known for their long tongues.
Oh,
I thought it was super cutesy. I
that's
didn't know there were long-tongued
adorable.
bees. It's crazy. So there's like a cajillion types of bees. So I guess like it makes
There
sense.
are. It's insane.
So it's interesting because they can like push their tongue out and specifically extract the pollen, I think, while avoiding anything toxic, which I thought was interesting.
Wow, that's kinda like butterflies, right? Don't butterflies have, like, long
I think
tongues?
they do too. I think you're right.
It's so cute.
Yeah.
Oh my
So
god.
if you happen to find yourself in the UK, so I guess this is for Dom. They
Shout
can be
out to
found.
you.
Yeah, they can be found across the British Isles, particularly in acidic soil, which I thought was interesting.
Okay.
Woodland edges, roadsides, heathland, and in gardens and stuff. So they can kind of just sneak their way in. But since they're so beautiful, a lot of people will just plant them in their gardens. But you have to
Sure.
be mindful of pets and kids and that sort of thing.
And
But
if
they
you
are
I would imagine
gorgeous.
too, if you get, like, a lot of deer coming through your property and things like that,
Mhm.
but, I will say, like, some animals are pretty smart and they know which ones to avoid, like, it's just,
It's
like, their
crazy. I wonder
in
if
their
it's a
nature.
smell thing, like how their instinct knows, you know?
I know, because
It's
I mean, I think about
crazy.
our outside kitty, who is just a wild kitty that comes around. And she's so smart, like, she never gets sick. She doesn't eat anything really. I mean, we feed her, so, yeah, it's very
It's
interesting.
crazy that they just understand, and it's crazy the ones
Yeah,
that know that they'll be okay if they eat it, like, that blows my
I
mind too. Yeah,
know.
and for these, if you see these in the wild and they're not blooming, they have sort of narrow leaves that are toothy along the sides, they're oval shaped, but again, everything that I'm telling you, look it up because just so you can get a strong visual of what I'm talking about, and yeah,
Yeah,
just these flowers are so beautiful.
they really
This
are.
one, number 3 is the thorn apple, aka devil's snare, aka Datura stramonium is the scientific name. This
Wow.
plant, I feel like I've seen a lot in LA when I'm on walks with my kid, because
Really?
if I'm not mistaken, I see them in people's yards and the flowers kinda grow downward and look like little like big bells, but I would that
Oh,
was coming up when I was looking at flower photos, but some of them were
interesting.
different. So I'm not 100% sure if it's what I'm seeing in LA, but I'm seeing a variation of it, I think.
Well, and
But
what's funny too, these little cluster thorns, like, I
that's
feel like
ex
I've seen these.
that's the thing. I think I've definitely seen those in LA, and they're, like, very specific to this plant.
Yeah. I thought
So
both came from, like, trees, but who
that's what I
knows? I
thought
mean,
too.
so
I think
crazy.
some trees do have seed pods that are spiky. So you
Yes.
guys,
Also,
with
I
thorn
love the little character.
oh, you'll know. So, you guys, always on theme, Halloween. It has Holly's laughing because I included Oogie Boogie from Nightmare Before Christmas on my notes because it is known for its white star-like flowery flowers that are it's like a floret that's star-like, and it sometimes has a purple center, but it reminds me of Oogie Boogie. Like, it reminds me of his
It
little
does,
arms
it
and
has
legs.
little arms.
Going
Oh my
all which way.
god.
Yes. So take
Yes.
a look online. I think it's very cute. They're very beautiful. It's the leaves are narrow, but they have about 6 sharp points that are it's narrow going outward, and then they have smooth edges as well. This plant, the thing that's different since from the other 2 that we've just talked about, is the seed pods that Holly just mentioned. They're round, green, and covered in spikes. They're very prickly, like they hurt if you touch them, and they look
Ooh.
like the little bombs from Minesweeper, if you want a visual. From back in the day, deep cut, everybody, deep Microsoft cut. So it is very specific. It's I believe this one is also poisonous everywhere, but very specifically the seeds pods
Wow.
themselves.
They even have a
You
warning if you think about it.
They're telling
the
you not to
thermal
touch it.
toxic. Yeah, like don't touch me, don't come near. I am
Well, I
toxic.
saw pictures of it cut open, and they're like these little black pods, seeds, and they can last a long time if they're in the right soil. Even if they get moved around, they like don't. It takes a long time to die. So
Wow.
they're very resilient, these guys, and
Are these considered
these
a weed?
grow. Yeah, it's a weed, and it grows often in
Wow.
gardens, roadsides, in other waste or cultivated lands where the soil's been messed with, and it's very toxic because it contains tropane alkaloids, and this can be used to put people and animals to sleep. So if you
Oh.
ingest enough, you'll never wake up.
Oh, like never wake up, not just
Y
like
Like, it's not just to,
a
like,
little
put to sleep to surgery, like, you're done if you have enough, yeah.
bit.
Isn't that
Oh my
crazy?
gosh, and
I
that's
didn't
typically seed pods, right?
Yeah, it's very specifically the seeds that are
Oh,
poisonous, and these are very common in the UK in the summer because they do better in hotter climates, which would make sense seeing them in LA, but I
yeah.
think when they have their humid summers, they sprout up a lot too. This one, I believe, because I tried to look up medicinal properties of each, and even this one, I mean, I can't say for sure if this is used when, like, you put your animals under for a surgery, that sort of thing, but it
Yeah.
has those capabilities, and I believe it does have medicinal properties, but it is looked at most commonly as just this, like, a pest, a weed, and they
Wow,
grow
that is so
fast.
interesting.
Yeah, but
Of
they're
course
very
they do,
pretty. I
'cause
think
they're
their
just
leaves are lovely.
prickly.
Of course they do. They're highly invasive to the UK, and I don't know if they're invasive to the US, but I thought
Oh,
that was interesting.
that
All right, this
is.
one I really like. Number 4 is called giant hogweed, which is also in the garden, the poison garden that I went to, AKA Heracleum mantagasianum. It's
Good
quite a
job.
name. Thank you. It was my first time trying. I panicked. I was like, just get through, just get through, just get through.
Just say it. Sound it out.
Yeah. So
Wow.
this one can reach over 10 feet in height, and it's a close relative of cow parsley. It's in the parsley family, actually.
That's really funny because I thought the flowers themselves looked familiar. It almost looks like when certain herbs bolt or go to
Yes,
seed or flower. It
100%.
Yeah, it's really cute, honestly.
It's beautiful. Most of these I find really gorgeous, which is so
Yeah.
funny. So this plant, the leaves are sharply incised, so they have like the pointy, sort of teethy uh edges, and they can grow up to 5 feet in width alone, just the
Holy
leaves. And
shit.
they have and hairy underside.
Wow.
The stems, I do want to mention the stems on this one. It's thick and bristly, and they're often purpley blotched. And they will have
Really?
fuzzies on them too, as well.
Wow. Now I
And
wonder if, because a few of these, it reminded me because of the stems and the fuzziness. I wonder if any of them are prickly and, like, hurt to grab because growing zucchini, they have prickly stems and leaves, and sometimes, like, I'll be
mm,
grabbing them and it, like, pokes you. So I'm
yeah,
very curious if that's kinda how this is too,
I think
which
this
just
one does
adds to the
poke you.
level.
Yes. Well, it's that's interesting. I wonder why zucchini grows that way.
I don't know, maybe I'm just a baby, but I was like, "Ow."
Ouchie, zucchini, ouchie. Yes.
But
This
yeah.
one, the coolest part, how you were mentioning the flowers a minute ago, it's so cutesy because they grow like in an umbrella shape, sort of domed top cluster,
Yeah.
which is known as an umbel. So if you think about it, umbrella, if you're like in the wild, if you ever find yourself in the wild and you
Yes.
see this. But if you're a plant lover and you find yourself in the wild, also imagine sort of like Hoya blooms, but wider, not as round as a
And up
cluster of
instead of
Hoya blooms.
down.
Yes, up and then out, whereas I think Hoya blooms stay a bit more compact usually, but that it made
Mhm.
me think of that as far as how they grow, and they have tiny white
Totally.
flowers when you look up close. But this one, I've got quite the notes for this one. This one I think might
Give
be
it
my
to
favorite as
us.
far as, like, how dark it is to what it can do to you.
Holy shit,
Is
okay.
Holly already reading? Oh,
I
no.
started to. I'm gonna let you just tell me, though, I want it to be a
Oh, it's
surprise.
no, it's okay. So this plant, it produces sap, I believe, on the big stem.
Okay.
Um, it contains photosynthesizing let's see if I can get this one. Furanocoumarins. Pretty much, it's this thing. It's like a toxin that when it contacts with human skin in conjunction with sunlight. So let's say I touch the sap. but it's
Yeah.
not sunny out,
Okay.
nothing might happen. Like, it's like,
Got
okay,
it.
there's sap on me. Ew, sticky, whatever. If I just think, "Oh, whatever, I'll clean that when I get home," and then I walk into the sunlight, I'm a goner.
Mm,
I'm
a
a goner.
goner?
Not a goner, I'm being
What?
dramatic, people. It's bad,
Oh,
though. So
okay,
when
tell us.
this sap on a person's skin comes into contact with sunlight, it causes
I don't
phytophotodermatitis, which means it's a serious skin inflammation. Pretty much, it removes any protectant that your skin naturally has against sunburns. It's like
Oh,
you're naked.
oh
It
my
pulls down all your
gosh.
defenses. It's crazy. So,
Oh,
in brief,
really?
the sap prevents your skin from protecting itself from sunlight, which leads to a very bad sunburn within as early as 15 minutes. And
Mm.
within 48 hours, it'll be like at its peak, and it causes painful burning, blistering, and it can cause purple or black scarring on your skin. And you can blister and scar for up to 6 to 7 years after exposure.
Continuing to blister?
You can.
Oh
Probably because untreated
god.
and yeah, it's
Yeah.
crazy. They showed us this one.
Oh.
Oh, yeah, and I was like, "Oh my god, I could literally just touch it right now, and it's sunny today. How crazy is that?" Like,
So now tell me, is this where the special clothing they have to wear to prune the plants, is this where that comes
all of
in?
this comes into play. Like, God forbid, like, your glove rips or something and you come into
Oh,
contact with, but you know what I mean? Like, they need to be fully covered head to toe. Like, they look like beekeepers almost,
I was gonna
and
say
they
they
wear
need to fully
masks and
insure
things.
these workers that work.
Oh, it's crazy, right. On top of being tour
Wow.
guides.
Yeah, exactly. My
They have, like,
goodness.
a head gardener and stuff, so they have, like, a full team operating it because it's so funny to just have a poison garden. I think that's such a big flex.
It is pretty I know, seriously.
Yeah, because it's
Wow. Where do
intentionally
you work?
planted that way, but that
Poison
one blows my
garden.
mind. I think that it's, like, such a hardcore plant.
That sounds
It's
like one of the
crazy.
scariest
So,
ones. I mean, like, yeah, dying and shit, but, like, blistering? Ugh.
oh, Holly, I almost included a photo, but I didn't know how your tummy was gonna take it. I didn't wanna
Oh,
trigger warning, so I decided to just
yeah.
not. It was
Oh.
pretty bad. It was disgusting. But
Oof.
there's hope. I wanted to tell you guys, if this ever happens to you, if you notice that you've made contact with sap, immediately cover the affected area with a cloth, with anything you can before you make contact with sunlight. Like, if you're lucky and it's sort of cloudy and this happens, and
Okay,
then as soon as you can, wash it with cold water. Wash it off.
perfect. What
It's
about
like
soap?
it's
You mix soap with it?
on it's probably fine, but I would probably do an initial just straight water. That's all I found
Okay.
online.
Well, like,
And then
when this happens to me, I need the
oh,
directions and what to
Ollie's
follow.
ready. It's Holly's like, "I'm never going to England."
Sorry, Tom. I can't visit you
It's
because
so
of the
pretty, which is, like,
hogweed.
crazy. I almost included photos of people standing next to it, and it's really tall.
Really? Oh, yeah, because
Yeah,
you
it
said
could
the
be over
leaves
10
alone get
feet.
out. Oh my gosh.
Isn't that crazy? So, yeah, that one I think is really cool as far as poisonous plants go.
Right? Scary
It's just, like, really
story.
hardcore because a lot of them, it's like, "Oh, you might get a sore throat or you might, like, things will close up a little, but take an
Next time you're around
antihistamine,
a
whatever."
right? I was gonna say, next time you're around a bonfire and people wanna tell ghost stories, you have a whole bunch of scary stories
Oh,
up
I'll
your
be like, "You
sleeve.
guys don't even know."
Time to
It's
hear about giant hogweed.
You wanna be scared? I'll scare ya.
I'll scare you.
Okay,
Wow.
so last but not least, this one, you'll probably recognize the name wolfsbane,
Yes,
AKA
Harry
monk
Potter.
sh Yes, exactly, but, so they mainly call it monkshood, AKA wolfsbane,
Okay.
AKA aconitum. Aconitum is specifically the toxin that makes this plant so dangerous. So,
Oof.
I'm gonna start with describing. I know there's this is a long list too. This one is a quite the notes. The leaves are um palmate, which is a word I just learned today, which made me think
Oh,
of like palm trees because it means hand shaped, which I thought was just such a fun
oh,
fact because
like
if you think about a palm tree,
palm.
it's like the palm is facing
Yeah.
up.
How
So I thought that was
cute.
cool because if you zoom
Oh,
into the second photo, Holly, it's very thin and it does look like little fingers are pointing upward.
it's
They have
pretty.
little lobed fingers, quote unquote, that have toothed edges and they vary in color from light to dark green. And their flowers, much like foxglove, these ones are purple bell like flowers. They also grow upward in tall, narrow
Mhm,
spire clusters, just
mhm.
like foxglove, but I would say they're looser. They're not as tight as foxglove blooms.
Yeah, they're more whimsical versus,
I
like
agree.
yeah.
They almost look floppy if you were to, like,
Yeah,
touch
dainty,
them.
flowy, yeah.
Yes. So, this guy is hella poisonous. Every single part
Jeez.
of the plant, especially the roots, contains toxins.
The roots?
The roots.
My goodness.
Yeah. I didn't
Wow.
realize, but I think I unintentionally listed these from, like, least bad to worst bad.
It seems like a good job.
That was not intentional. So, ac ac so aconitin is the most dangerous of these toxins that are that are among this plant. So it's most noted as a heart poison, but it's also a potent nerve poison. So
Ooh,
2 milligrams, a 2 milligram dose of I think I forget if aconitum is just the same word with an aconite. I took my
yeah.
facts from a few websites, people, but I'm just going to
Okay.
say aconitin 2 milligrams of this can cause death within 4 hours. Two
Oh,
milligrams. Isn't that crazy?
jeez. That is
It's
just
insane.
insane.
Yeah. So cases of fatal monk shoot poisoning are rare now, especially because it tastes really gross and foul and it's very bitter. So you would likely spit it out. So if it gets to your mouth, just spit it out. Like, you probably be okay, get to the hospital anyway, but you're not fully ingesting it.
Oh.
And to this day, there's no known antidote to monk shoot. But doctors can treat symptoms. So if you ever come in contact with wolfsbane, still go to the hospital and they can work with you. Like, it's not a lost cause.
Uh,
Some things that happen is it affects your cardiovascular system. So it slows and stops the heart. It
oh
can affect the neurological system. So with pain, convulsions, paralysis, you
my
can get
god.
gastrointestinal symptoms,
Oh, like
nausea,
nausea? That's
vomiting.
awful.
Imagine
Oh,
this all happening at once, it gets worse. And there's often other signs, AKA, for example, confusion and mania, which can occur if the alkaloids reach your brain. You'll start going crazy. It's
jeez.
pretty crazy. And
My
this part
gosh.
makes me sad knowing how awful it is of like I want to call it a drug, but like how intense it is. It's sad
Yeah.
because it it gets the name wolfsbane from very old history because it was a poison that hunters used to kill carnivores like wolves and panthers in the 18th century. So it was put into raw
Oh,
meat to bait them. So like wolves were, a threat, so people would poison them like this
I
to then kill
see.
them. Or
Oh,
yeah. And then medicinal uses cuz it can help,
wow.
which I think is crazy. It can help, but it is such a strong and dangerous plant that it's still not commonly used, but a lot of very like what's the word for it? I don't not tribes necessarily, but like very holistic ways of healing and stuff.
Yeah.
Back then people would definitely try to use wolfsbane. You could take it by mouth for paralysis, pain, numbness, poor circulation, inflammation, asthma, pleurisy, pericarditis sicca, fevers, skin-related diseases, and loss of hair, which is confusing to me because some of those things are the things that it can
Right.
do to you, like paralysis.
Right.
So
Interesting.
I find it a very um gamble of a plant to use medicinally because it's like I'm guessing one wrong move and you're just doing the opposite effect rather than
Yeah.
helping
And
someone.
obviously, don't do this, people.
Don't please. We do the Boozy Botanical podcast does not endorse any of these plants, but
No.
just to any in any way. Talk to your doctor. That's our disclaimer. But because this plant is so potent and a lot can go wrong,
Yeah,
it's no longer a common practice.
I
But
see.
yeah,
That makes
she's a
sense.
baddie.
Wow.
Yeah. I feel like there should be a
Oh.
villain or a superhero called Wolfsbane and it's a girl. She
Oh,
can
isn't
kill
there I'm
ya.
trying to think, are there any characters named
I don't
Wolfsbane?
think so. There's Wolverine, there's no Wolfsbane. But imagine like it's
Huh.
crazy. So back then, I think you would hear back in like when women had hella no rights, like 1800s, 1700s,
Yeah.
you hear about like men all of a sudden dying and there's always like the trope of like the woman poisoning their food or whatever.
Or
I think
Snick or
Wolfsbane
whatever.
yeah,
Yeah.
the boop. I think Wolfsbane was one of those that was sold sometimes because if you could literally
Well, and
stop the person's
also,
heart, they
if
would
this
have heart
person was,
failure.
like, really evil, they probably got satisfaction of watching them suffer
Oh my god,
and
imagine just
feeding
seeing
on
them
it.
choke and start
Ugh,
hallucinating.
just
Yeah, it's a really
shitting
bad way to
everywhere.
go.
The nausea and the diarrhea. Oh my god.
Mhm. And you
Whew.
guys, I told you they have approximately 100 plants in their garden. I went over 5.
Oh
And
my
they said that
gosh.
I mean, again, we saw that there was weed in there. So I think 99 of them can kill you. But isn't that
Wow.
crazy?
That is so
Yeah,
crazy.
I just chose some like interesting ones that I felt really connected to. You know what I mean? They stuck out.
Oh, for sure. I think you picked some really good ones. I mean, with
It's
the
crazy.
wide range of, like, symptoms and, like, things that can happen to
It's
you, it's
insane.
very insane. Oh
So
my
as you
god.
go into this last week of October, guys, watch your
Beware.
step when you're
Watch your
outside. There's the title. Watch your step.
watch your step and beware of berries.
And thank you guys. Literally beware of berries. You
Yes.
guys, thank you so much for bearing with us. I know this was a little bit longer than usual. You know, I'm a talker. I had a lot to say today, but I was very excited because I did the notes today. It was so cool.
Yes. Thank you,
I felt
Angelique. These were
because
good notes.
Holly's the queen of note taking, and she's always like, "This is what we're doing," and I'm like, "You got it, boss." And then today I was like, "I'm doing it today," and
I
I felt like I was in
know.
school, like trying to figure out sources, make sure it's reputable, look at the
Oh,
references. So I'm
'cause I'm
sorry if
gonna
anything
double
was
check your
wrong. I
work.
tried my best, guys. It was my first rodeo.
Well, I give you an A plus. It's very good.
Dr. Holly, I won. Well, Holly, where can the people
Oh.
find ya?
You guys can always find me at Concrete Botanical on TikTok and at Concrete Botanical _ on IG and concretebotanical.com for my shop. Yay.
And you guys can catch me at Sucka for Plantas with 2 C's. And you can catch the podcast at Boozy Botanical Podcast on Instagram. We drop new episodes every Tuesday on Apple Podcasts, SoundCloud, Spotify, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Spreaker, YouTube for the video. And we also, what else do we do? Oh, we have an email address. I was like, what am I forgetting? If you guys
Ah,
want to collab or if you have any questions, you can email us at boozybotanicalpodcast@gmail.com. We also would really appreciate a 5-star rate and review on Apple Podcasts. You can also leave us reviews, or I think at least ratings on Spotify. We
yep.
super appreciate the help. Don't forget, if you're listening to this, this is your last day to take advantage of our 15% off with True Leaf Market, because we're going into winter season, so
Yep.
you won't be cover crop seeds, or they need to sleep. So
Yes.
if you guys want to take advantage of that deal, I believe the code is BB15, and we will
Yep.
be keeping it it's right down in our copy below. So make sure to check that out, take advantage. And I think, oh, finally, one more thing. The podcast that I produce with Josh and a few of our friends is finally up and running again. We're back off. We're
Yay.
off of hiatus. So that's So I Got Fired, the podcast. And that's at So I Got Fired on all the things. And we drop episodes on Thursday. So please check it out.
Yay. Well, happy Halloween, Boozy Bees. Thank you for another episode. And on that note,
Cheers.
cheers.
Happy Halloween.